Nelson Mandela's story begins in the small village of Mvetso, nestled along the Mbash River in the Transkei region of South Africa. Born on July 18, 1918, to Gadla Henry Mfakaniaswa and Nosekeni Fanny, Mandela was given the name Rolihlala, a coarser term meaning pulling the branch of a tree, or more colloquially, troublemaker. It was a prophetic name for a man destined to disrupt the status quo of his time. Mandela belonged to the Thembu royal family, and his father was a respected chief in their community. Although his family's royal lineage provided a degree of status, their lifestyle was modest. Mandela grew up herding cattle and playing with other village boys, a life steeped in the traditions and values of his ancestors. From a young age, Mandela was exposed to the oral histories of his people. His elders would recount tales of brave warriors who had resisted colonization and fought for their land and freedom. These stories kindled a sense of pride and a nascent understanding of justice in young Mandela. Mandela's father's defiance of the colonial authorities played a formative role in shaping his character. When Gadla refused to compromise his principles, he was stripped of his chieftaincy. This act of courage, though it brought hardship to the family, left an indelible impression on Mandela, teaching him the importance of standing up for one's beliefs. Mandela's formal education began at a local mission school, where his teacher gave him the English name Nelson. This was a common practice under colonial rule, aimed at Anglicizing African children. Although the name would become iconic, Mandela later reflected on the deeper implications of losing one's cultural identity to colonial influences. His education continued at the Clarkberry Boarding Institute, where he excelled academically and earned a place at Healdtown, a Wesleyan college. Here, Mandela was introduced to broader ideas of leadership and discipline. His time at Healdtown was marked by his growing awareness of the racial injustices in South Africa. When Mandela was 16, he underwent the traditional Xhosa initiation rites, a ceremony that marked his transition into manhood. During this time, Mandela began to think more critically about his future and the role he could play in his community. However, his life took an unexpected turn after his father's death. His mother entrusted him to the care of Chief Jongintaba Dalindyebo, the acting regent of the Thembu people. This move to the great place at Mkhekezweni exposed Mandela to a world of governance and politics. Under Jongintaba's guidance, Mandela learned about the responsibilities of leadership and the complexities of balancing power with compassion. As Mandela grew older, Jongintaba arranged a marriage for him according to custom. Unwilling to accept a predetermined future, Mandela fled to Johannesburg in 1941. This act of defiance was a turning point in his life, marking the beginning of his journey as an independent thinker and a seeker of justice. In Johannesburg, Mandela encountered the harsh realities of apartheid firsthand. Working as a night watchman and later as a clerk at a law firm, he witnessed the systemic oppression of black South Africans. These experiences deepened his resolve to fight for equality. Nelson Mandela's early life laid the foundation for the leader he would become. His rural upbringing instilled humility, his education broadened his perspective, and his experiences with injustice fueled his determination.